Alright, welcome. Beautiful music there from, of course, the Wakati band. We're just getting us in the mood. It's pretty chilly outside, so it's good stuff to have a good band as well. And hopefully, or not, depends on the situation, we'll get hot in this conversation as well. As we talk about pertinent issues, we have Gideon Keteru, who's the chair of the Jubilee Youth, Bernard Wakoli, who's the chair, or Bena, of the Ford Kenya Youth as well, and Siad Osman, who's the Jubilee Youth Coordinator. I guess we'll start with the latest buzzing topic, which is the debate, Majibizano Jana, between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his reasons for not attending the debate, and Raila Odinga's reasons also for not attending the debate. A lot of conversations online and, for lack of a better word, offline. So I guess we'll start with you, Gideon, because it is your party leader who first of all, he says that media wamekuwa wamemwonea sana 2013 na kumuunga mkono. Sasa could you qualify that?
There are so many factors that actually could have made the president not to attend. One of the reasons as to why is what he said, that in the past the media have been biased when it comes to coverage, especially to him, and to my view and the general view of what I understand is the attitude that has been built around the media and the perception and the outcome of debates, outcomes of interviews. Mostly we have not attained the stature of a debate to a national international standards as it is supposed to be. I know this is a concept that has been borrowed from developed countries like US, UK for presidential debate. As a country, I still believe we are not supposed to look at international ways of doing things and try to bring it locally, because solutions for our problems normally is local. And we expected maybe in the media or in such an arrangement, local consultation, local bodies, independent bodies. I know this was organized by private media, and wide consultation. If you hear many people, they say there was no enough time, or most of them were not consulted, and hence even preparing for this, you never know. It's either you come to the show and you'll be asked things you are not prepared, or you come to the debate and be asked things that totally differs. Another option was, you see, Uhuru Kenyatta is the president of Kenya. Raila Odinga is a candidate. If you invite him to a debate, you expect him, most of the question, to ask him of what have you done in the past 4 years. But the rest, you will be asking them, what are you promising Kenyans? So the platform also of both Raila and Uhuru were not the same level. But so those are the things that were not
let me interject a minute before I give Bernard and Siad a chance to talk. A very interesting thing you're saying there. One, and I would like to throw the question back at you. How do you quantify no support where every day there is a story from both Jubilee and NASA? When the government wants to communicate what they have done, it is the media that covers them. That's one. Two, talking about the consultation, the consultations began in May. Of between May and this time, if there was a problem, they would have raised it early enough. And three, as we are using international best practice as one of the yardsticks, all over the world, presidents come and meet their candidates, and the questions are normally not known. That are the rules of the debate. You can't know the questions beforehand.
Yes. What I understand of international style, they normally set up a commission, independent commission. But in this case, we had private media companies holding this. And I don't want to go to the circular that has been going around, that the people behind the whole debate.
Fake news. Alternative facts.
And if you look at those approaches, I understand we need to get to a point whereby we will be holding national debates on issues. But when it comes to Kenya, I mean local Kenya, how we address our issues really not, it doesn't give us, debates doesn't give us the results we expected. First of all, many people don't watch. Second,
to the contrary, the report came out and 3 million people are watching.
No, I know even the viewership is
yes.
8.5 million. Third, it's a free media, whereby you have other alternatives of actually reaching out, of which the president had managed to do a Facebook Live whereby he was interacting with Kenyans. And that one, it could have been, it was another best solution to addressing directly to our supporters, and also reaching out to the undecided votes as well.
Bana.
My friend Keter, thank you very much, Willis. I find the argument by the Jubilee side as to why the president failed to attend the presidential debate very deficit in itself, and you know, now the president is trying to look for excuses and, you know, blame game as to why I was not properly informed. But this is a country, you know, there have been arguments that the debate will bring nothing. There was no difference. People have already made up their mind in terms of voting. But we are forgetting that we have almost 5% of the voters who are undecided, and these are mostly elites. Most people who want to elect a president based on the quantity, on issues, and based on facts and issues that this president is going to address to meet their interests. So these are the people that the debate was aimed at reaching, and also try to open up a scenario where the president or the candidates might be accountable to the citizens of this country, because it's like an employment, it's like an interview where you want to tell people, you want to put down your points, your roadmap. This is what I've done, like for a president's case. This is what I've done in the first 4 years. This is what I intend to do to Kenyans in the last for the next 5 years. But what we felt as people from NASA is that maybe the president feared the kind of to be accountable for the last 5 years, for the last 4 years, given that he gave promises, that these promises have really failed. They have not taken off, and we feel he feared, had questions from Kenyans on why there's high cost of living, on why there's no food on the Kenyan tables, on why medical is health sector is dying. There are so many things, and skyrocketing kind of unemployment. For the last 4 years we have seen inflation going very high, and so those are some of the things that we wanted or would have wished the president to come up and address. When you look at the NASA presidential candidate, he brought up a picture of somebody who is ready to serve, somebody who is ready to account to Kenyans on what to be accountable for what he promises and what he's going to deliver. And one aspect that the Honorable Raila Odinga brought up in that debate that has never been talked about is the issue of looking at the less fortunate people, less privileged, like young single mothers. These are people that nobody in this country, especially the presidential candidates and many politicians, have failed to address. But when you look at the situation demographically, you realize that there are so many young girls who get who get pregnant, but they are left or abandoned by their boyfriends, and they are also abandoned by their parents, depending on where they come from. So these girls are left to fend for their children, to support their children, and most of them are less educated. So those are some of the issues that touched most Kenyans. And I can tell you for free, despite the fact that my friend Ketera and his colleagues are trying to argue that the debate has changed nothing, I can assure you that from this debate, Raila has acquired and has received so much support from those people who have not decided on whom they are going to vote for.
Siad, how are you?
Thank you, Melis, for the time. Actually, I expected that capitalization of this event that the president was not there. We expect that one, people to capitalize on that one. But for accountability, actually, the president was here for 4.5 years, and the oppositions were here for the same times. But now, when it comes to what we're going to be doing for Kenyans, we just launched our manifestos and all those things for the last maybe a month or so. But now, accountability. That's what now oppositions are capitalizing on. And oppositions have been there pressurizing and pushing the government of things which have maybe not been done, or things which have been done but they cannot see. So it's not something that's new, that actually will come at the debate expected. But we appreciate it's a democratic society, expected maybe the president and everyone to be there, the excitement and all that. But now politics is all about strategy. It's all about what you're going to be doing, not expecting that people will not capitalize on what you actually maybe have done, or you have not, or you have done but they have not seen mostly. Now my point is, right now where we are, we're the last stretch of the campaigns. It's all about strategy and meeting the people, directly involving them. Right now, if you go to the reserve, how many people have a TV?
The president.
Listen, my brother.
And the people from where I come from.
Let me make my point. How many people have TVs and all those
very few
things? So the president, right now, as we say, politics is all about strategy. The strategy right now, the Jubilee government and the Jubilee party is investing is one-on-one with the people, to tell them that what we have done and projects. Secondly, you cannot compare the government and the opposition. The government record speaks for itself. It's everywhere up to machinery. So right now, what we want to capitalize ourselves, not on the negativity, but it's positive energy, that what we have promised. The few months that, maybe the few weeks that's remaining, whatever we need to do to implement as promised, we want to finish it. Right now, them is just campaign and what they're going to be doing future. But for the government, we have two things here. One, what we have been done, or what we've been doing. Second is what we have going to be for the future. For us, right now, where we are as Jubilee government, Jubilee party, is now the few weeks that we have to strategize, meeting the people one-on-one, telling them that what we're going to be doing for you. Because what matters to you right now, Willis, is when I talk to you on aspects that is realistic to you than things that are cosmetic at the TV.
But don't you think that
right now
the debate and Gideon and all of it has not been, the debate doesn't it offer a chance to interrogate some of these issues? Because if you go for a rally, there is no way you say,
the argument, Willis, the argument that the Jubilee side is putting forward about meeting the people directly and interacting with the people, how are they sure that that's not what NASA is doing? Because we are in a political situation, we are in a political environment, and we are just at the, we are at the home stretch of this election, and all strategies are there. And debate was one of those strategies. That yes, we are going to reach people one-on-one, talk to them, but still we need to. It was like, for us, it was like a national address by the Honorable.
But what you're talking about is all about maybe the future. For us, records actually, you cannot compare the records which is there and what you're going to be doing. Those are two things.
The records that are there.
Yeah. So you have nothing to justify
the records
which has been done.
The records that are there, my friend Osman, the records that are there, they are in itself failed.
Okay.
Because they are not records that you can tell people that this is what I've achieved in the last 4 years.
Now,
because there were so many. Where are the 5 stadiums that were promised? Where are the jobs that were promised? Those are some of the issues that, my friends, we are young people, And let's interrogate these issues positively, not because of our political alignment. But when we look at these things positively, you realize that as much as you might want to say the record is there, but from where we sit, from where I sit in my village, I feel the pinch of the economy for the last 4 years.
Okay, let me help you understand something, Mr. Wakoli. When you talk about there's nothing, you are lying. Na mwenye macho hambiwi tazama. Na mwenye masikio. Sasa, if you talk about there's no achievement, railway
was from
no problem. No problem. Let's talk about it, because it is something that has been achieved.
But it was there in the coalition government. It was started by the Honorable Raila Odinga and
no problem. No problem.
What did Uhuru promise Kenyans that I'm going to do that he has achieved? Those are the questions we wanted to ask.
Can I speak?
Sure.
There's a big difference between talking and doing. And that is now the difference between opposition and Jubilee. Opposition are full of good English, copied from the Google and copied from international countries. No, yes, whatever you call it, best practice.
But
no, a minute. Let me finish. You'll have your time.
Let me.
You'll have your time. No, you'll have your time. You'll have your time. You get it? When it comes to, Jubilee, we merged 12 parties.
Yes.
That is a sign of uniting the country.
No.
Even if you say no, Kenyans can see and can understand who is saying the truth between your no and my yes. Because we came from the Republicans, the National Alliance, the rest. And we had the ideology of kusema na kutenda. Hence, the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, former Deputy President, Vice President, former Vice President, there are 3 now, 2 Vice President and 1 Prime Minister. Yet, they had the power, they've never delivered anything. They are good in saying, but in doing, it's something else. When you talk about health, Raila spoke about young mothers and single mothers.
Yes.
The solution was provided by Jubilee. And ask me why. Young men used to run away from their girlfriends when they get pregnant because of one thing, the bill in the hospital. Now Jubilee has managed to clear that. It is as simple as, even if you get pregnant, I can take care of you because of the government has helped me deliver the baby. Now the rest is to take care of you and me, the normal way. You've been, many young men have been feeding their girlfriends, and the only thing they normally ran away from was the bill of the hospital. Now that one already has been solved.
Sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I interact with them every day. When you talk about the old people, the social protection, the government is already taken care of. In fact, Raila is one of them. He is part of the people who are included in the social protection, including Mudi Owori and Kibaki. And the government is taking care of that. Now that is practical. When you talk about electricity, right now a young man can afford to install an electricity to his or her home as cheap as 15,000. Those are things that are close to the heart of young people. When you go to the manifesto of Jubilee, which was launched, NASA managed to launch theirs and we managed to launch ours. When you look at how they were addressing young people, first of all, when Raila was recognizing the honorables, he literally avoided to recognize Babu Owino and Steve Mbogo. Yet the media was actually waiting to see if the president, if the candidate is going to recognize them. And they are the young people. And that speaks a lot about how young people in NASA are being treated compared to Jubilee. I have held a case in Kisii. Anthony Kibagendi left the camp because he was frustrated reduced to idle by the status quo. When he came back home, that is home of the young people. Jubilee is the home of the young people. He was received, and he has turned around the entire county, and actually they are feeling the pinch. When we talk about the debate, the question should be, did the debate actually change the undecided votes? Did the debate change the perception of the Kenyans? And the question, and the answer is no. We waited to hear what Raila is going to tell us, but
were you undecided?
No, I'm not. I was not undecided.
All right.
But we waited for Raila to tell us something, but absolutely there was nothing that we got. The only thing you can still remember right now until today is you're telling me the only thing Raila could tell Kenyans is I'm going to take care of the single mothers.
Well, let me ask the only thing, well, we're going to be talking about that and how they plan to roll that out. But so, are the undecided voters important to Jubilee?
And our strategy on reaching out to them is totally different. The president is working on reaching out to them. The women in the party are busy reaching out to them. The youth have been segmented to different counties, and they are busy actually reaching out to them. That is our strategy. We only find we are able to touch and to convert many if we hold a closed door meetings with them, do one-on-one meetings with them, reach out to them. Because the greatest cry of Kenyans is, have you come to us and request for our support? And that is why we are requesting Kenyans to support the re-election of Jubilee one-on-one. We don't request them on mostly on as my brother said. When we moved from digital, from analog to digital, not many people can afford to pay TV. Not many people, because of so many other things, that the infrastructure and also the knowledge. So our strategy on reaching out the undecided votes is totally different. That is why our president decided to go on Facebook Live to reach out to them. That's one strategy. The another strategy today, our deputy president will be on Radio Citizen, actually talking to them one-on-one.
And the president was up more than 14 stations.
Yes. And the president has been on more than 40 stations. And that is actually
so then why the argument of the media is biased, and they've been on more than 40
actually,
but anyway, we want to move on to the next one, which is what Wakoli said in the story that we ran yesterday about NASA's plan to support the single mothers as well. Of course, you'll get to talk about it, but how is this set to work, and how different is it from the healthcare plan that Jubilee has already put in place in terms of free maternity?
Willis, I wouldn't like to endeavor so much in what Ketero was talking about, because these are normal things that the Jubilee side keeps on talking. But they talk, big, and when they are put in a corner, they like, oh, media is against us. At the same time, oh, we are going to media houses to to talk to Kenyans directly. Those are there is some sort of finding situations to excuse. To give excuses, and that's what NASA is not willing to do. When the Prime Minister or the NASA presidential candidate talked about supporting young single mothers, this is something. This is a population in this country that has been neglected for quite long, and it really talked the hearts of many young women. And as I can tell you from our own findings, there's a lot of vote apathy among young women, especially those first-time voters. Most of them don't see the need to vote, and most of them will not want to initiate even in politics. They look at politics as a dirty game. Politics as something that cannot, address their issues. Now, this is a situation, this is a position, or this is a moment that we have a presidential candidate who is actually talking and addressing the needs of these young single mothers. And the problem in this country has been creating opportunities for people who are at the lowest, at the bottom of the pyramid. And these are some of the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid. Some of them are mostly unemployed. Some of them, you know, have been abandoned by their parents. You know, some of them, they don't even who impregnated them. Look, for example, the situations when somebody maybe or God forbid, find herself in a rape case. And you know, post-rape care in this country has also been something that needs to be looked at. Maybe now the government is planning to mainstream issues of post-rape care into primary public health care systems, so that, you know, we have a situation where young women are going to be empowered economically. Start with the robust economy from the grassroots, or, you know, they will be identified, and, you know, these people live amongst ourselves. So we know, I have a sister maybe who is a single mother, a young single mother. I have a cousin who is a single mother. So we know these people, where they live and the kind of situation they are undergoing. What we are going to do as the NASA government is to start by mapping out, to do a baseline survey and find what's the level of this situation and how many are there in those areas. As much as the Jubilee government is trying to say that they are giving social protection to the old, but these are the people who really need social protection, and they are the people we are going to target in terms of empowerment, creating
so that you may continue the same.
Creating, I give you time, you talked so much, Keter. Creating things to do with the, you know, with the cottage industries at the local level, so that those who have not completed their schools, and just to remind you, in some schools in this country, we have a situation where the teachers conduct forceful pregnancy tests for girls, and most of these girls are actually expelled from schools, and the possibility of them being readmitted in the schools, or the possibility of going to another school, becomes very, very, very narrow. That includes also the issue of stigma. There's so much stigma associated with the, you know, a girl who gives birth at home. So at a presidential level, when a presidential candidate talks about these issues, first is going to reduce the amount of stigma targeted at these young girls. Two, is going to address the issue of, you know, these girls being abandoned and being taken care of. Is going to address the issue of these girls being expelled from school and discontinue their education. You saw the other day Magufuli in Tanzania saying that he's not going to allow girls who give birth back to schools. But are we a country that is going to demonize a section of the population, or promote this kind of intellectualism and have these girls progress and achieve their life dreams?
Before you comment, I'd like also just to give Siad a chance. I heard very well. Actually, there is inclusivity of all and a big specific. As long as we had former Prime Minister and NASA have given young mothers and single mothers specific things, as the other side have given inclusivity for all mothers, every child that is born immediately gets a cover. That's something there. So it's not something that is only single mothers or parents. So we are inclusivity of all. Kenyans are here to be served all, and we are not now trying to identify. And by the time they identify that, there are also parents who cannot afford medical cover. I think it will be too late. So inclusivity is very important. Secondly, this perception that my brothers have, that a lot of things failed. Actually, no, it's a perception. when you look, you know, when you attack, even aspiring, when you attack, you look more superior than when you're defending. So attacking is just a strategy for our brothers on the other side. But here, you're not defending anything. Everything is there to Kenyans. They have nothing to justify anything, because at the end of the day, what matters is visibility of things. Whoever is ready to see. But now let's come to the point of the youthful perception that we need now to think about these political parties. Right now, I've not seen up to now, I'm not satisfied up to now, NASA
inclusivity or bringing on board youth.
In which field? You know, don't just talk.
No. I'm talking about.
Don't just talk in terms of, trying to give specific areas that we don't see.
Leadership itself.
Which leadership? I'm here. I'm a leader.
I'm a leader in your party, which actually you have not.
I'm in NASA. I've participated in the drafting of this manifesto. Where did the youth participate in?
We are the people who drew the manifesto.
Where?
If you don't know,
where?
The youth things. So anyway,
for example,
the point I'm making. Example. No problem.
Finish and then I'll.
So what I was saying about Iffy, because he don't want me to attack other things, actually, which are weaker points.
No,
but I'll go there.
The issue of participation of youth in now,
right now,
we know we are there,
we know everything.
So don't talk about
that. Because we have just a few more minutes.
So here, actually, about the inclusivity I was talking about, if I go to his point, every mother, be a single or be a family, deserves a care and deserves to be given attention. So right now, as long as we appreciate that NASA has given single mothers a chance to have, a cover or something like that, here we are talking about all Kenyans, family and single mothers.
Okay.
So
now, it is very interesting. That the only thing we can pick from Raila Odinga in debate is single mothers.
No,
I mean,
I'll talk about another thing.
You heard yourself.
Yeah, I'll talk about another thing.
That's the only thing. Another thing is that is the one most thing. That is it is clear. Even in social media, that's the only thing they are discussing.
Okay,
they're not discussing. They're not discussing because it is an interesting thing, but it's an amusing thing. One of the things in my history, in my experience of policies, that is one of the tasteless policies I've ever had. And it is actually very funny that you are, as a whole, as a candidate, as a presidential candidate, the only thing you can think of is single mothers, not addressing the root cause.
About young single mothers.
Young single, it's okay.
And you might be
not addressing, not addressing the causes of these single mothers. It is like they're telling us we encourage many young people to be responsible. And then, so long if then you become a single mother, then we come and take care of you. Of which that totally even doesn't augur well with our faith, doesn't augur well with our belief. What we expected from maybe an alternative to what they were saying is to tell us how we are going to cap this, not to spread or not to increase. Like you talked about Magufuli saying it's like when Magufuli said we don't want to see this in school. Young children doing this. It is a sign whereby, as an elder in the society, is saying we want young people to be responsible. And when you talk about only singling out the single mothers only, while in Jubilee we talk about everyone. You are given free maternity care, an extension of up to a year plus of NHIF, whereby you're being cared of, irrespective of if you have a parent or if you're coming from where, if you're rich or poor, you're being taken care of. And that is something that NASA could refocus and stop actually complaining. You see, the only thing you're making it as if you're making it.
So we have just a few, maybe just 2 more minutes.
He said one thing that I wanted to actually correct him. He talked about him being included in or youth in NASA participating in the policies of the manifesto.
Actively.
Yet there is no single policy that is addressing young people in the NASA manifesto.
All right, so we'll allow him to respond to that.
You tell us.
You will tell us.
Osman
is talking about inclusivity. What are the issues that are affecting young people? There are issues of unemployment, right?
Yes.
Mostly?
Yes.
Why do we have high skyrocketing level of unemployment?
And we have a Jira Digital in Jubilee that will going to address 6.5 million.
Why do we have this unemployment? Because the economy, instead of growing, is slowing down.
It is not slowing
What
down.
NASA is going to do is to boost and create an environment where the economy is going to grow and employ most of these young people. So we don't need to have a situation where,
for your information,
to tell people that we are
Kenyan economy,
we are going to employ people on social media and to work in digitally. Then another thing that I want to bring out, Willis, before I finish, because Keter are arguing that it's only the issue of young mothers, and I'm very shocked that actually our friends in Jubilee are supporting the situation where young mothers are not given opportunity to progress with their life. So that one aside. Lastly, there's this issue of addressing historical injustices in this country, and you have seen from the Prime Minister or the presidential candidate for NASA, that's something that is at the core of his heart. He is dedicated to address the historical injustices that have been affecting this country.
Okay,
we have seen our friends from the side saying they are not ready even to implement the TGRS report, which is going to address these issues. So for Kenyans, if we are ready to face a situation, to face a future with hope, a future where your issues are going to be addressed, then let us all turn up on 8th and vote in the NASA government.
Right, okay, of course, there'll be another chance next week to ventilate more on these issues. That one, the historical injustice, will open up a whole other discussion. I'm sorry, unfortunately, we have Cheche is coming up next to Dr. Mimo and Charles Odhiambo. Taking Chow are going to be talking to Wandi and Joy, who is a senior lecturer at Desa University, and they're also going to be tackling different issues as well. So the hashtag is Cheche. Meanwhile, we have entertainment, which is the Wakati Band, who are also standing by to bring you some more music, hopefully now to cool down the temperature before the rise again on Cheche. Good morning.